The skill we are going to look at in this module is taking four numbers and placing them in order. We will either be looking at them from the smallest to the largest or from the largest to the smallest. Here is question 2 from the diagnostic test to show you the type of thing that we will be doing. In order to place numbers in an order from highest to lowest or lowest to highest, we need to have a good understanding of place value. Now here on this page we have a place value chart that shows the first 4 place values, our ones column, tens, hundreds and thousands. If we have a number 3,749, we can place these digits in the correct place in the place value chart as follows. The 3 goes into the thousands column, 3 lots of 1,000 is 3,000. The 7 in the hundreds column, 7 lots of 100, 700. The 4 in the tens column, 4 lots of 10, so it's worth 40. And the 9 goes into the ones column, 9 lots of 1, so it's worth 9. So how do we place these numbers in order? Let's see how we can use this place value chart to order the numbers. This was the question at the front of this lesson, so let's use that particular question. The first number, 3,000, we place the 3 here, 749. Then we have 3,770, 3,694. And now we have to be careful with the 822. There are no thousands, so we have 8 and 22, 822. In order to write these from the largest to the smallest, or in this case, we're actually going to look at the third smallest. So we're going to go from the smallest to the largest. We've got to find which number is the smallest. In order to do that, we go to the first column, the thousands column, and we look to see which of these numbers is the lowest. In this case, there's actually a 0 here because it's a placeholder. There are no thousands, and yet in here you've got 3 thousands in each of the other one. So immediately we know that 822 is the smallest number. What about the second smallest number? Well, each of the thousands has a 3 in it in these numbers. That means we need to go to the hundreds column to look at the next number to see which is the smallest. Now, this one has 7, this one has 7, but this has only got 600. So this would be the second smallest number. So we're going to write this down as the second smallest number, 3694. So we've looked at these two numbers now. Let's see if we can find out the next smallest number. We look in the thousands column and see both of these are the same. We go to the hundreds column. We notice the hundreds are both the same as well. So we go to the next column, which is the tens column, and we'll see here that 4 is smaller than 7. So this must be the third smallest number, 3,749. So finally we can write our biggest number, which would be 3,770. So there's the smallest number, the second smallest, and note we want the third smallest number, so there it is, the third smallest, and this would be the largest. So our answer for this one is 3,749. Let's have a look at some of the terms or the words we use to describe numbers in this particular order. I've actually listed these now from the biggest down to the smallest. So we would call this the largest number, and in order we would then get the second largest, and then the third largest, and finally the bottom number would be our smallest number. And then going back up, we go from the smallest to the second smallest, to the third smallest, and then that would be the largest. Now that seems a little confusing, but if you start by identifying the largest and then going second largest, third largest, you'll get it right. Or if you do it from the smallest, you say smallest, then the second smallest, then the third smallest. They're actually getting bigger, aren't they? Because if that's the smallest, and that's the second smallest, and that's the third smallest, the numbers must be getting bigger. It's just a language that we use to describe the rankings, if you like, of particular numbers. Let's have a practice of these with our number generator. It says which is the second largest number. So we're going to use the largest idea here. We need to find the largest one. So let's see, we've got in the thousands, we've got 5, 4, 8. Now 8 is bigger than 7. This must be our largest number. So we're going to put the largest number there. We need the second largest number. Now if we look and see what's left, we've got 7, a 4 and a 5. 7 would be our second largest number. So let's click on our second largest number and we'll press enter, see if we're right, and yes, we're correct, and our new question comes up. So we'll move these out of the road and have a look at it. We need now the second largest number again. So you'll notice here that 9 and 9 and 2 and 4, well, these must be the larger numbers, bigger than these ones, but which is the largest and which is the second largest? We can't tell from the first number, so we actually go to the hundreds column and we'll see that this is a 7, this is a 0, so this must be our largest number here, and therefore the next number must be our second largest. Let's check it. And that's correct. We need the third largest number here. So let's find the largest number. 8, 4, 1 and 9. 9 must be our largest number. 8, 4 and 1 are left, so 8 must be our second largest number. 4 and 1, so 4 is bigger than 1. That must be our third largest number. Let's see if we're right. And that's correct. And let's finally have a look at one of the ones that requires the smallest number. So we look in the thousands column. We've got 2, 5, 2 and 1. This must be our smallest number. We now go to 2 and 2. Which one would be smaller? Well, we can't tell from the thousands column, but from the hundreds column we can see 1 and 8. So 1 is smaller than 8. We call that our second smallest number. And that's the one that we want, the second smallest number. So let's check it, and if we're right, it will tell us, yes, we're correct. Now what I'd like you to do is to pause the video and you work through these 3 questions on your own, and when you're ready, start the video again, and then we'll check and see how you went. In this question, we need the second largest number. So let's find the largest number by looking in the thousands column. 5, 7, 5, 8. That would be our largest number there. We need the second largest. There's a 5, a 7 and a 5. Well, 7 is bigger than both of these, so our number will be 7,262. Here we need the third largest number. So that would be our largest number there, 8, 5, 5, 7. Our second largest number, well, there's 3, 6 and 1. That must be our second largest number. So our third largest number, 3 and 1, this must be our third largest number, 3,406. And question number 3, we need the third smallest number. Well, looking down the column here, we can see which is the smallest. Here we can see this is going to be the second and the third smallest, but we need to go to the hundreds column. There we go, an 8 and a 6. That must be our second smallest, and therefore this must be our third smallest number. 4, 8, 5, 2. And there are our solutions.